When there's work to be done, the job can consume you. Sometimes, however, we find ourselves rushing to the stop sign. When these uncommon but inevitable moments occur, the demand for superfluous tasks begin to rise. This is Hurry Up and Wait.
You threw me off with that superfluous word. I wasn't expecting that so early.
I know, right?
Threw me off. But back on the hurry up and wait, nothing like showing up at 5 a.m. for a drill that starts at 9 a.m.
Oh, let me tell you about that. Every person who's ever shot at a shooting range will tell you stories of like having to show up to the armory or wherever you store your weapons at 3 a.m. then to get on a bus at 5 a.m. to get to the firing range at 5:30, only to not shoot until the sun rises. So like, why the hell are we up 4 hours early and we can't even you can't even start shooting until the sun rises?
Yeah, like why am I here?
Yeah.
Why? I feel like we could have started the day at 5 a.m.
Yeah, or like 6 something, you know, like it's only gonna take like 30 minutes to get here. So I mean, why?
That's insane. Is it something with the military? Is it just one of those aspects where like, let's just make your life suck a little bit so you appreciate things later, or is it just we're gonna mess with you just to mess with you? What do you think it is?
I don't know. I think it's a combo of both.
Do you think it's like the officer's way of pulling jokes on the enlisted while the like the same way as during the hurry up and wait, we come up with games and shit to pass the time. Yeah. Do you think that's what the officers do on their end to like just kill the time? Let's make them wake up at 3 a.m. We're not going to get up until 7. Then we're going to go to breakfast and then we'll get out there by 9. But we're going to have them out there at 5 a.m.
Right. It's one of those hidden secrets. I'm pretty sure it does.
Of playing jokes.
Right. So a little bit about the range thing. I thought that was exactly that, right? Like there's just people who are in charge. They're just finding more and more ways to fuck with us. And then when I actually started working at a firing range, like the reason why most people show up at 6 to start shooting at 7, the range personnel don't show up till 6 anyway. So I mean, there's nothing you can do until they show up anyway. But the reason why other units or other shooters have to wake up early and then do all this and that before they show up is because there's always going to be that individual who shows up late. There's always going to be that individual who forgets to bring his weapon, and there's always there's always that one guy who just like he had it when he got there, but he somehow lost it. You know,
that's a bad day for everyone when one Jago loses his weapon.
Right. And then especially when something like that, you know, it's all about 100% accountability and all this and that. So when I heard that, it made a lot of sense. But at the time going through it, I'm like, this is really stupid. Like, I can't believe we're doing this. And then going on to our jobs, right? Well, this flight doesn't take off until 9, but we want you here at 4 a.m. or sometimes 3 a.m. to get everything ready to leave at 9. Like, why the hell are we doing this so freaking early?
Well, especially if the aircraft was fueled the night before, and then all you have to come in and do is like the minor servicing stuff, maybe check tires again, check O2 levels or battery voltages or whatever the case may be, depending on your airframe.
Right.
But they bring you in, hours ahead of time to do 30 minutes worth of work and then sit around twiddling your thumbs the rest of the time. Like, well, that's because we have, and now certain organizations, right? If you're dealing with the military, like from a military contracting standpoint, some outfits have it where, the book has to be released for flight hour and a half to 2 hours prior minimum, you know?
Right.
And okay, so I get that maybe, but I still think that's a little excessive. Like you'll have that book ready and you're like, where's the aircraft? Oh, they're not even on site yet. Get the what?
Yeah. Matter of fact, yes.
Why does the book have to release then for them if they're not even here?
No, or like say like you do all your pre-flight checks, right? At the time you showed up, and then say for whatever reason the aircraft delays, the air crew delays, something happens, and then all those checks expire well before the intended time. I'm like, see, this is what happens. Right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you check your do your servicing items and say they're good for 6 or 12 hours or whatever the case may be, 3 hours.
Yep.
And then the delays happen, and then you're like, well, we should have been good, for an hour and a half after flight because you had me come in so early. Now they're going to expire if we're 10 minutes delayed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, well, good job on that one, everybody. Right? It's one of those like let's like speed our way to the stop sign. Of course, you're not predicting that would happen, but you don't expect it to happen. But it's kind of one of those things like we should probably plan ahead for a little bit of wiggle room instead of riding it right to the line, and then we have maybe 10 minutes of deviation, and then we're stuck sitting there to redo everything because so and so forgot to bring his thigh pad or some shit,
When the management says, well, if you did everything right, there shouldn't be any deviations. Okay. All right. Thanks for your input. Go back to your office.
Thanks, everybody. It's one of those like, I'm in a hurry and it's your fault. Like, what? How's it my fault that you're stepping 10 minutes late?
Yeah, no kidding. It's not my fault. Not my fault. You had to reheat your coffee. One of my favorite hurry up and waits is when they harp. Management will harp on overtime all week. No overtime, no overtime, no overtime, no overtime. Then Friday evening rolls around. Hey, we're working Saturday. Yes. Okay. Well, what time are we coming in? Normal hours. All right. So you show up at 5, 6, 7 a.m. whatever time you start. And they're like, okay, we're only coming in for this one aircraft. Yep, only the one aircraft. That's all we're working. We just need to get this thing hammered out today, so we'll be back on schedule for Monday. Sounds good. Hey, where's the parts at? Oh, the parts aren't going to show up till noon. Why in God's name am I here at 6 a.m. then if the parts aren't getting here till noon? Well, that way you guys can work a full day. Well, but it's overtime. You told me not to work overtime. Yeah, but now you're getting the overtime. Yeah, but I don't want the overtime now. I want to be at home. Right? And the parts not showing up till noon, and I have 6 hours to play dick until the parts arrive. Oh, by the way, now the parts arrive and I do all the in-processing and everything. Now there's only 2.5 hours left in the day before I go home. And you're going to tell me you don't want me to work double time. Yeah, we're going to have to call in the swing shift guys to have them come in. Oh, my God. So no overtime all week, and we're going to blow the whole wad in one Saturday.
Right. I was about to say, like, but did the parts actually show up? Because there's always those moments where, like, oh, parts are going to be here. Like, everyone swears up and down it's going to be there. And then they find out, like, oh, by the way, this courier or this logistics service doesn't do Saturdays, right? They do every day except for Saturday. I'm like, oh, God damn it. Right?
Well, I mean, that's happened. I've had it where they have arrived. I've had it where they showed up early, actually, and that was, worked out. And I've had it where, hey, it's not going to make it today. So we just came in to sweep floors today. Yeah, but look how nice the hangar looks.
Fantastic.
I hate this place.
Fantastic. Right. Again, right, is when things come to a screeching halt. Like you're rushing to the stop sign. You're like, or the red light, whatever the case may be. And like, oh my God. Right. And so then you hit the stopping point, and that's when all the dumb shit starts happening. You know what I mean? Like, that you come up with some way to occupy space. Like, well, this aircraft isn't ready. But we got this one over here that's been kind of collecting dust for months. Let's start chipping away at the overdue maintenance on that one. Like, what? Why?
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Well, while we're waiting for parts, we might work on this other stuff. Well, yeah, but I guess you guys told us early in the week we didn't have the budget on that program for the overtime, so we're going to work overtime on that now. Yeah, we got to keep you guys busy somehow. Yeah, but I could be at home right now having breakfast and waking up at a decent time on a Saturday to be here by noon. Okay. Or you got guys that just hide, right? They're masters of hide and seek, and they disappear until parts arrive. Or you spend the day on a roll around chair with a shop vac and a massive extension cord, vacuum out the cracks in the hangar floor and all the grounding points.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And moving racks away from the wall and cleaning up the dead bugs and mice and vacuuming those areas too.
Right. It's one of the, it's
scraping bird poop.
Yes. Oh my God. We used to have this saying, man, in the Marines. I'm not sure if any other service does it. It goes, everyone's a free janitor, or every Marine's a janitor. And like, and this is exactly where it comes up is when
I've heard that
is when we don't have a whole lot of stuff to do. They call it white space. We have a whole lot of white space. So we occupy this with doing really dumb shit. Like, let's take everything off the walls, dust the wall, and then put it all back. Like, what? Why? Or you're just like filling sandbags for fun? Like, this is fantastic.
I had one job where I spent the first 2 months there painting walls, pulling weeds, and what the hell else did they have this do? Same thing, like dusting, moving stuff off the walls, building shelves. Yeah, that was the other thing, building shelves. And I was like, this isn't anything related to aircraft. And they're like, well, you're getting paid okay money to do this kind of work. I was like, yeah, but this isn't what I want to do. Like, if I want to do this stuff, I'll just go home.
Right.
I'm here to work on planes, you know what I mean?
Right. Like where my spouse freaking slave drives me to doing the exact same shit, you know? Yeah. But she says it in a more subliminally brain fucking way, you know, like, oh, if only somebody would just take out this trash. Like, this is my sign before I get my ass beat.
Yeah, but you and I both know after so many years of marriage that we're pretty much tone deaf to that now. If only somebody would do this, and you look them dead in the eye and go, yeah, if somebody would. And then you kind of stare at each other for a minute, and then you just both walk away and nobody takes it out. And then both of you go yell at the kids, hey, somebody come take this garbage back out. Right.
Or like you smash it down so many times to avoid having to take it out.
Yeah, look, there's still plenty of room in here.
Yeah, look at that.
Meanwhile, you just had to use all of your weight to shit stomp it down further into the
can. Right. I think one of the biggest filler for when you get into a situation, hurrying up and wait, is you start coming up all this stupid activities to occupy this said space, like when you're in a field setting, like a no kidding airfield, and it's just a bunch of rocks and shit everywhere. You start throwing you start picking random objects out in the distance and start throwing rocks at it to see if who can hit it first. Like hey, like $5 if I can hit that road sign over there or some shit, right? Like you really try to chuck your way through it, and then and then like once that happens, like then you start looking for something else, like I'll throw it into that guy's shirt collar or some shit, right? Just
yeah, you start throwing bottle caps and seeing if you can get them down the back of people's shirts or pants or whatever, or coins, right?
Yep.
Trying to get a penny in the penny slot, i.e. the butt crack.
Right.
How about this one? This is one of the dumbest things I think I've ever witnessed while being in a hurry up and wait, is when you'll get all the guys and they'll sit in a circle, right? And they'll put their feet out to the side, touching boots or whatever, but in a circle. And then they'll take their helmet and lob it up in the air and try to hit the other guy across the way in the nuts, and you can't move. You know? And if you run away, I think you get, I can't remember what the punishment was, but there was a punishment if you flinched or moved or whatever else. So that was one of the dumbest things I think I've witnessed.
So I've done something similar to that, but it was on a rollaway chair. So like you would stand maybe like a ping pong table's distance away, and you'll get like a roll of blade tape or aluminum tape. It's about like, I don't know, 3 pounds depending on the roll. And same thing, you would like kind of toss it in the air like you're doing a softball, and you kind of have to like just lean back and have your legs open and stuff. And the goal was to like nail each other in the nuts.
And that was a whole game for all you listening out there. You're going, okay, but what's what's the catch or what's the win or what's this? No, that's the whole game. Like
that's a game.
It's just bragging rights that I hit you in the nuts more than you hit me.
Yeah, you just win. That's it. There's no prize. It's just you won.
Yeah. What do you win? Sterility.
Right? As if some of the equipment we're around doesn't irradiate enough stuff to make you sterile in the first place.
Yeah. Or how about this? And if we have any weapons troops out there listening, jammers, your little loaders for loaded munitions and stuff like that. Little 2-cylinder, 2-stroke diesels. And they go pretty fast, but they go faster in reverse. And so then you set up a whole slalom course out there, right? You find cones and shit and whatever else to set up a racetrack around the ramp. And then whoever can make it around the course the fastest going forward and then in reverse. And then if you go in reverse and hit the brakes hard enough and then punch it forward, you can actually ride a wheelie in them. So then we had wheelie competitions as to who could ride the longest wheelie, who was the fastest around the track, who could leave the biggest skid marks, biggest patch of rubber. Yeah, that was fun too. Good times on that.
This reminds me of like the tug races we used to do. And now, granted, like these tugs were like totally not serviceable. Like how these were even on the line anymore was beyond us. But we managed to Frankenstein it enough to get it working again. And we would disable these governors that would limit how fast it can go. Otherwise, it would smoke itself. So we would we disable the governors. We'll have two of them together, and then we'll just race with these things. Right now, these things are like they're meant to go maybe 5 miles an hour tops.
Well, but let me ask a question: what era were these tugs made?
Oh, that's a good one.
Are these Vietnam era assets?
I want to say yes because they were green. So you can kind of base what era something came from on the color. Like if it was green, it's probably like something in the 70s, early 60s, because that's when everything was green. And then if it was from like the the early to mid 2000s, it was like desert tan.
Yeah, it was late 80s, early 90s into the 2000s. It's probably tan.
Right. Or that tiger stripe stuff,
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, it was green. So I want to say it was like Vietnam era, like or early 80s, late 70s era. And it sounded like it too. Like it sounded like a kid whining like, ah! Anyway, so we would line these two up and we'll have like drag races with these. And again, like they're only meant to go 5 miles an hour, but with the governors disabled, it was like going like 15 to 20, and you could hear it just crying the whole time it's going that fast.
Like, I'm not meant to do this.
My God, my asthma. And we found out like when you gun it really fast, and then you switch it into reverse. Or I'm sorry, if you hit it to switch it, if you had it in reverse and you gun it and you dump it into forward or first gear or whatever it was, it would catch itself and do like a wheelie on it.
Okay.
So this thing is like back heavy, like very back heavy. I think that's like common to almost all tow tractors, but it was very back heavy. So when this thing actually wheelied up, you kind of have to you're like doing like this stupid like balancing act inside the tug to try to keep it from falling totally backwards. It's like that scene from Cars, when they wake up the tow tractors and they all like flip over because they're so back heavy. And it sound and it'll sound like that when it stalls out.
And then backfires.
Yeah. Tractor tipping. That's pretty much what it.
We had these little carts, and they were. So everybody listen, right? All the stuff we're talking about, this is the dumb shit that happens, and this is management's fault for having us out there waiting around for hours, and we have to find reasons to entertain ourselves. And then management always comes out, "What the fuck's going on here?" And you're like, "It's more you than me at this point, Chief. Like, I'm just trying to stay busy." But anyways, we had this little electric carts, and you stood up on them, right? They had a vertical bar in the back that you leaned back against, but there was no seat. You just stood up and drove them, and it had like a tricycle style gear.
Yep.
on it. And you could tow small things around with it, put boxes on it, haul around, all electric, whatever. But the steering on it goes almost 90. So then what guys would do is they'd cut at 90 and then stomp on the gas, and whoever could hold on the longest without being whipped out of the fucking thing. And, man, some I can't believe some people didn't break something. But yeah, they get going in circles real fast and they get launched out of the. And it's electric motors, and once your foot comes off the pedal, then it just stops itself, you know. But yeah, those are fun.
Right.
It's fun to watch. I never participated in that one.
Nah,
I didn't feel like throwing up. But I watched one guy. He got like, you know, you ever seen like the videos where the kids like in the merry-go-round?
Yeah.
And like they're going so fast that they like the lower half of their body's still in it, but the upper half's gone. You know?
Yeah.
Flying out of it. I saw one guy do that. I was like, I don't think his spine's supposed to bend that way.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There was these other ones we used to do. You ever seen like the shop totes or the shop carts? It looks kind of like a desk, but you can put tools and stuff in it. Like Jiffy Lubes and stuff have it. Anyways, so we would have a bunch of these, and we would try to play this game where like we'll see how we'll pick like a door or a like a hazmat shack that has like an open garage door kind of opening, and we'll try to go as far away as we can, and then try to shove it or try to wheel it as straight as possible and have it go into the door. And
is that like what's that game they play at the Winter Olympics with where they have the brooms and they're
curling,
throwing that little curling? Yeah, it's like curling but with shop carts.
So it's exactly like curling. So and then the target circle is the inside of the shack. So we would try to go as far away as possible and launch this thing and try to be as straight as possible to have it go into the shack. And then once that became easy, then they started seeing if they can put stuff in it and then still have it go straight, or have it jump stuff and see if it can go straight. There came to a point where they started putting people in it. Like someone would actually sit on top of it and ride it. Of course, he'll have a helmet on and stuff like that. But I mean, at that point, I don't think it's gonna help.
I don't think it mattered. Yeah,
I don't think
the brain damage had been done long before.
Right. And where our shop was, it was kind of like a sidewalk that led to this shack. So they started saying like, oh, like we'll go as far away as we can, and then have someone on top of it with his helmet on, and like that's gonna help. And do the same thing, like launch it, and it will jump the sidewalk and roll into the shack. It sounded cool at the time, I guess, to those people, but so they had a guy on top of it. They launched it, and as soon as it went the sidewalk, the front wheel caught before the back wheel, and then it went sailing forward, and the guy face planted flat on the freaking pavement. Come on now. What'd you expect was going to happen?
Thank God his helmet was on, though.
Right. But what helmet, it was more like those construction helmets, like the hard hats. So like as soon as it went dipping out, it fell right off. I'm like, okay, that didn't help any at all.
Safety first.
Safety first. A green helmet at that. Safety first.
What the hell happened? Like the jousting.
Oh yes.
Yeah, with brooms and office chairs or whatever.
Yes, and you had
two guys push two other guys as fast as they can towards one another.
Yes.
Yeah.
And sometimes they would use like trash can lids as shields.
Oh yeah.
They get real into it.
Yeah, they'd have the whole garb on. They'd even put on their flak jackets like armor.
Shit. I love those things, man. All this, everybody, this is all like stuff like you should probably never do. And if you do, I'm just saying, like,
don't get caught.
Yeah, just make sure you're being smart about it. Like close the doors or do it when there's not a whole lot of people around, because you will get in trouble.
Yeah. Again, this usually happens during the hurry up and wait times, because you're waiting for leadership to arrive so you can do your next task. But they usually always arrive right as something's about to go down.
Right. It's
We
like
go ahead.
it's like a spider sense to them, like fuckery's afoot.
Yeah. I sense somebody's about to do something out of regulation. Nay says I. And they got that Terminator runs out there to where everybody's at.
Right.
Who's messing up?
Nobody.
We came up with one time with Hangar Olympics.
Oh my.
Yeah, those were awesome. So I can't remember all the events, but some of the events I remember was the chalk throw. So it was like a hammer throw, but with the aircraft chalks. We had the chalk put. So who could, like a shot put, who could ever, throw the chalks. We had to do it like in the fashion of a shot putter.
Yeah.
We had basically laps around the hangar. So we had 100-yard dash, which was from hangar door to hangar door. And then we had distance running. So we're a bunch of maintainers, so none of us are really, let's say, fit. So we did 3 laps around the outside of the hangar. And I think after lap 1, most everybody was damn near suffocated. I remember one guy just stopped and he said, to hell with it, and he lit a cigarette and just sat there on the ground. Wheezing.
Oh, that's probably why you're wheezing, bro.
And we had there was one other one. It was like a shuttle run, but we had to do that with like the baton races,
Yeah.
So we had to do that around the hangar, and we had like a team of 4, but instead of just a baton, like a light wand, we used cones. The big cones, like you would set out, like radiation warning hazard cones.
Yeah.
So it's like these 25-pound cones are running around that are as tall as you that you're running around the hangar with. There's old Wheezy again. He's gonna die.
He's gonna die, man. So, a little bit on the darker side. We had something similar to this, but it was kind of like a shop war kind of thing where every shop had like this one item that was air quote precious to their shop. That's kind of like their manifesto will say. Like one shop thing would be like this trophy or some shit they won, or another one would be like this cool picture of the aircraft in their shop, something like that, right? Like they really treasured this stuff. And so the shop war would be like, we'd have to sneak in there and steal it and then hide it somewhere. And then they'd be like looking all over the place. Like, where'd you guys take our shit? I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, bro. Like, we were in here the whole day or the whole night. And typically it happens at night. Mm-hmm. And so they'll lose their minds or whatever trying to find it. And then we'll grab one of the guys from the shop they took it from, and they'll start doing like little ransom letters or some shit like we'll give you your stuff and your nugget back if you guys do this or some shit like that.
So I saw where they took pictures of it, scanned them, and then put them up in the bathrooms, right, for that shops area. Yeah. But it would be like above the urinals, and it would say, "Have you seen me?" Yeah, and it would be a picture of that whatever their most valued or coveted item was, and they're like, "What the?" That's how they learn that it's missing. They run back in the office and look, and there's that open white space with a dirty ring around it, where it was hanging on the wall for
yes.
3 decades,
Yes, exactly that.
Just a missing stain on the wall.
Right. It's exactly that, right? So with all this, right, and of course, like that's the more fun side of when you run into a hurry up and wait situation. The bad side is when you start doing all kinds of dumb air quote work stuff to occupy the free time, like we mentioned earlier, like let's put the Hangar Queen back together, or let's sweep floors until we literally sweep the floor off the floor. Or another one is like you start doing all this extra managerial shit, like build PowerPoints.
Oh yeah.
Or do air quote training.
That's what I was going to say. Build a PowerPoint for training on whatever subject. You know what I mean?
Right. And then they'll actually watch you do it, so it's not like you can sloth it off or whatnot. I'm like, oh my god. Or you got to do like a no kidding class, like, hey everybody, Today's class is on safety. Safety is everyone's mission. Just know that safety comes first. We care about you. You are all family. You know what I mean? Right? You're like,
we value you more than the aircraft, so be safe today, which is a lie because they value the aircraft way more than you.
that reminds me of the meme I sent you. Like, which is it? Fix the jet or be safe? Oh, you got to do both, Jerry.
You got to do both, Jerry. Man. So it's like, no, that's the lie. Management goes, no, that's a lie. We definitely value the employee more than the aircraft. Really? How come then when I cut myself on, the other day, you guys were like, oh man, that sucks. Don't bleed on the aircraft. You were concerned about blood on the aircraft more than a gouge in my hand.
Right.
Yeah. They don't give a shit.
You got to do both, Jerry.
You got to do both.
Oh my God.
Another dark side of the hurry up and wait is that you have a lot of time with your own thoughts and being in your own head, and you start going, why am I here? What am I doing with my life?
Right.
You start letting that negativity seep in, and you start having those doubts where you're going, nah, there's got to be more than this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes that can really affect your whole day. Because then, like, when you finally do, like you were saying earlier, get to the firing line, you're kind of like, I don't give a shit about this. And you just pling, 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 just throwing bullets wherever.
Right. Or in our case, right, with the maintenance, you actually got stuff to do. Like, man, fuck this job. I'm gonna take my sweet ass time.
I'm gonna do a half-ass job.
Right. Or you're gonna milk it enough so it can bleed over to the next shift. Like, here you go.
Yeah, or you do the job right, but then paperwork side, you're like, you just kind of slough it off or whatever else.
Right. Which, again, going back to all our previous episodes, like, paperwork is probably like the biggest heavy lifting out of the entire maintenance task itself.
Yeah, it's oftentimes you'll have a 10-minute task and an hour's worth of paperwork. Like, this doesn't equate. Right.
How does this relate? This matter of fact, this reminds me of one of our listeners posted on their Instagram where, like, they were talking about, like, they did like maybe 10 minutes worth of servicing on an engine, and they had like a stack of papers they had to fill out that documents everything they did. And I'm like, holy Christ. I mean, I thought ours was bad, but jeebus.
Well, like, I know on the corporate realm, you fill out everything in triplicates. So, and if you did an engine change, oh my God, the stack of paperwork you had, was massive because, again, every form was done in triplicates. One you kept for yourself and your work order, right? The originals get you fax. No, the originals you bring back with you, and those get mailed to whatever home station that operator for that aircraft is out of. And then the third stack usually was either in the logbook or something. I can't remember where we had to put those. Mostly in the logbook, I think, on that one. But we had to fax all the paperwork back to control for that outfit, and then they would have to review all the paperwork and make sure everything was right and filled out in its in completeness. And then you have to wait until they call you and say, "Yep, everything looks good." Lock up the bird and you're done. So that might take hours, right? Because it's not just you they're dealing with. They got 400 aircraft. I think one time I waited want to talk about hurry up and wait. Hurry up and get out there and fix this jet. All right, we got out there and fixed it, and I waited 8 hours for a return to service call.
Oh my God.
Dude, I just sat there took a nap, was watching some TV in the FBO, but it was one of those days where I did everything to entertain myself, and I was still at that point, I still had those thoughts of like, what am I doing here?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Because there's no relief coming to you in those situations.
Nope. Especially because the air quote work's already been done. Now you're just waiting for the thumbs up. I'm like, well, here we are again.
Yeah, if you're lucky, maybe another plane will come in at that point, and then they'll turn you on for a work order for that. So while you're waiting to be released on the one, you're staying busy working on another one. But oftentimes, it's not the case. So you're just hanging out, waiting. And by the time you get done with that, and you're like, oh, I still got a 4-hour drive home. Awesome.
Like, no,
No.
why? Please.
And then halfway home, you get a call. Hey, divert over here. Is another plane broke? All right.
Okay. Well,
You go.
what I also hate is like say like you hit the stopping point, so you occupy space and however you figure out how to do it, right? And then whatever the stoppage was clears, and now everyone's like, you got to make up for all that time you lost, right? So they really try to like rev it to the end, you know?
Yep.
Like, why? Like, why? Like, we're not gonna make up 6 hours or 5 hours worth of wait time in 30 minutes. It's just not gonna happen, you know?
Yeah, or you get nickel and dimed, right? So they're like, oh, well, you know, I know it's overtime pay for you right now, but the minute you sent the email for the return to service, that goes back to regular hours. Like, no, I've been working 36 hours straight through. I'm on double time right now. And they're like, no, you got to switch back while because you're not doing anything. That's their justification. You're not doing anything. You're not working. You're just sitting there waiting on a phone call. It's still part of the job. It ain't my fault. That's the operators. You know, that's their in their GOP. You know.
Yeah.
That's I'm just doing what they're requesting. If it was up to me, I'd fax them their stuff, throw everything in the van, lock up the jet, and leave.
Right, because all the physical work's already been done. Now you're just waiting on paperwork. Really, at that point,
just waiting on them to approve pay. Even the paperwork's done. I'm just waiting on them to thumbs up it. You know, like, yep, you drew a smiley face where there was supposed to be a smiley face.
Right. You ever had those moments where like they find something wrong and then they want the whole thing revamped?
I wish I could say no.
You know, you're waiting forever, and then someone and they give you that send back, and like, you spelled something wrong. Like,
yeah, I've got that, or like I missed when you're doing, like I say, a dual engine change, right, or whatever, you got just a grip of paperwork, and you wrote out everything in triplicates, and you missed a dash on one of the part numbers, and so you have to go back and fill out the dash everywhere you wrote that part number down, and then resubmit all the paperwork.
Right. Or even more so, like say like there's a box or something you had to check or X or whatever.
Yep.
And it wasn't like detrimental to the sign off, but like it's one of those kind of like for tracking purposes, air quote tracking purposes. And so they flip their wigs about it, like, you forgot to put the check in the box here. I'm like, Are you serious, bro? Like, it's not going to hurt you to kind of just fill that in yourself, you know? Like, it's cool. I'm okay that you do that, right? Like, if this is holding up this plane from flying, I'm totally okay with you just filling it out for me. I'll go on record and say that I said it was cool, right?
Well, oftentimes, if it was something like that, right, depending on who the control person was, but oftentimes they're like, hey, man, you just forgot to check this box. Just check the box, throw the book in the plane, and call it a day. Right. You're good to go. Oh, awesome. Cool. But you had other ones that are like, nope, mark the box, resubmit everything. I'm like, can I just resubmit the one paper? Nope, resubmit everything.
Yeah.
It's like 150 pages. Yep, resubmit everything. Okay. On a fax machine, right? I can't scan it and email it. That's too easy. Nope, we're going to fax it because Richard Gere did it in 1990 in a movie, and that's the latest technology. Like, God.
Do fax machines even exist anymore, man?
In the corporate realm, unfortunately, they do.
Right. I remember the first time I've ever had a fax go through or come in. I thought like my computer was gonna explode. Right. Like,
yeah.
What the hell? You know, and it's one of those where you're not sure where it's coming from. Like, is there a bomb in here, man? Like, what the hell? Like,
the hell's that noise? Right. Yeah. It's what the hell's that noise?
And it's like, is someone
big cicada in here?
Is someone cutting their hair in here? What the hell's going on? You know?
I remember when I first went to work in that corporate realm, and they're like, yeah, you got to fax and paperwork. I was like, that's funny. I'm just going to scan it and email it. They're like, no, you have to fax it. Are you shitting me? Are you? It's like one of those, are you fucking with me, kid? You know, it ruined my day. I was like, a fax? Fax. Like, yeah, have you never faxed anything? I have. But not since 1992, you know, like
back when we had rotary phones and shit, you know.
Yeah, not since the Andy Griffith Show was new and popular on TV. God.
Oh my God, man,
crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I miss rotary phones. As dumb as that sounds, I kind of miss it. Because who didn't have fun as a kid? You know, just watching the freaking dial itself back. And then and I remember seeing individuals who were like super fast with rotary phones. Like they can dot, they can. I guess I don't know if it's dial, but anyway, they're able to get a number through, like say a 1-800 number in like 3 seconds. Like, wow, that's so fast.
I was never that fast, man. If I had to call a friend, I messed up one number. I was like, dang it, had to hang up and start all over again.
Right. Same here. Like, oh, damn it. I did an 8 instead of a 9. Fuck.
Your girlfriend would get all mad at you. Why did it take you so long to call me? I kept missing the number.
Back when you had like corded phones and it was like 8 feet long.
Yeah. And so when you wanted to have a private conversation, yeah, you had to, when you wanted a private conversation, you had to walk through to the other room with a cord wrapped around like 6 door frames.
Yeah. Or awesome. Well, what was the other one? Like, if you didn't want someone to call, you just left the phone off the hook or some shit. Or everyone shared the line, so when someone was like talking on the phone, you interrupt their call or some shit.
Well, or when your mom wanted you off the phone, she'd pick up the phone. Time to hang up. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. That was weird.
That still blows my mind about the fax, especially the amount of paperwork you have to fill out and then fax every last one of it.
Well, I know. It was just like, I was like, this seems so inefficient. Why are we doing it this way? Like, that's just because that's, like, well, I was like, it's free. It's free to scan and email stuff. It doesn't cost the company anything extra. You guys already have computers. Like, we're good. And like, yeah, but we want the hard physical copies. I was like, right. You just print it, Yeah. You can print it from the email. You open the document and print.
Yeah. I would think with nowadays where like you would have apps that can take like full on pictures of stuff and it will send like immediately.
Yeah. Like, there's one I use called Tiny Scanner. It was right from my phone. And so some organizations you were able to email the document. So I would just take pictures through my phone. It would convert it to PDF and I could email it right from there.
Right.
So it was so much faster. But then you had the ones that are like, nah, fax it, fam. And so the paper's all wet from your tears as you're sobbing while sliding each paper through the fax.
Right. And we can't read this. There's a big water spot. Like, that's my tears. Heck, nowadays, man, you can control a freaking washing and drying machine from your phone. Isn't that wild?
I was just at a place last night where he could control the lights in the pool, the jets in the hot tub, and the heat and all that for his pool just from his phone. That's cool. Yeah, he had waterfalls in there too, like 3 little waterfall things, and he can turn those on and off from his phone. It was wild.
Damn, I want one of those now just to be bougie like that.
I just want a pool for these hot ass days.
Oh, tell me about it. The level of disrespect this weather's been given.
Yeah, somebody made it mad.
Right. So yeah, like again with these situations, a lot of things can cause these stoppages, whether it be failures in planning, project all of a sudden lost their funding, lack of parts is a big one. The equipment just somehow took a shit, stuff like that, right? And it's never ideal when these happen, and then whatever you guys do to occupy the free time, whether good or bad, it comes and goes in waves. Because in most cases, you're get up and go like all the time, and just even find the time to sit down is a rare feat in itself.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like barely have time to think to yourself, much less freaking have a break. So
what's that?
Yeah, what is that? Right. So they suck, these hurry up and wait moments, but they're very uncommon, and those are kind of the times where like it comes when you most need it but least expect it, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Final thoughts on everything, MVP?
Man, the hurry up and wait, it's kind of inherent to, I don't know about other industries, but it's kind of inherent to the aviation industry, especially if you're dealing with military assets. It's an inherent problem. I don't know why it's a problem there, but just try to occupy the time with positive thoughts, positive things. If you're going back to school, try to use that time, maybe get some schoolwork done. If you got overdue training to do, knock that out so you ain't got to do it during the week or hang out any extra time. during the week to do that. Train the new guy, better yourself, learn from one of the more experienced people. But don't be afraid to have a little fun as well, as we've talked about today.
Right. By hearing us, like, you guys have way too much fun.
So, do you guys do any work?
Like, this is rare. Like, most times we're like freaking getting down into the dirt or being buried in paperwork.
That's right. So we maximize the downtime as much as we can.
Right. Balance. It's all about balance.
Work-life balance.
Work-life balance. Fuck yeah. What is that one? Pablo Francisco. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Put it over there. We'd like to take this time to thank our patrons, all of our patrons, for supporting our show, allowing us to continue make episodes, maintain our gear, have merch for all our listeners, and keep Shoreline happy to keep on helping us produce these episodes. Special shouts to Erica Lamont, Chris Hawkins, Ryan Freshour, Dan Schubert, Jenny Dignan, and the ladies of the Dick Talk and Mimosas podcast. Hey, hey.
Woo woo. What was the other one she did? Oh, meow meow.
Meow meow. Sheesh. Visit our shop at cancelformaintenance.com. Grab some swag to show off your support for us, your prowess as an aircraft technician. If you have ideas for the show or you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit our contact us section. Send us a line. We'll do what we can to get your ideas or yourself on the show. Follow us on social media such as Facebook and Instagram at Cancel for Maintenance, or Kang C8 and X for Maintenance on Instagram. We do have Twitter. We're not that active on it, but can totally follow us there too at CXMX podcast. Again, going back to Dick Talk and Mimosas, those ladies are freaking hilarious. I think like they're the one of the most funny podcasts I've listened to in a while. And thank you to you ladies for supporting us all this time. You can follow them at DickTalk_N_Mimosas on Instagram. They got YouTube as well at Dick Talk Mimosas. Anyway, yeah, shout out to you ladies. Check out some of our affiliates like Rockwell Time. They make both rugged and classy watches to fit your lifestyle. Use code CX4MX, save 10% off your purchase. And again, support us on Patreon. Our patrons get exclusive perks such as access to Discord, discount and early access to merch, and special Patreon-only episodes, which we'll be releasing here in the near future. Again, thanks everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.